Falcon can edit.
Okay. So we can talk about connecting with the land, grounding our beautiful grass that's growing, which is awesome. I'm so appreciative. And thoughts about our trip in a couple weeks, thoughts about the trip later, thoughts about the last trip we did, lots of trips, thoughts about mosquito bites, thoughts about connecting with our children, many needs along the way, being distracted.
Did you see what you were doing there?
What's that?
Hello.
Hi.
You had this beautiful, expansive field when you were talking about the gratitude you had for the beautiful grass.
Yes.
And the light within your heart expanded as soon as, even before mentioning the word gratitude, because the essence of what you were grateful for came in and around and through you and bubbled up into the essence, and it put a smile on her face and allowed the opening more of the lighted heart energy to come down and through the both of you. And then you started to mumble something else about trips and the mosquitoes and you collapsed it all, which we knew would happen, flattened the energy that you so carefully with your heart field tilled up around you.
Okay.
And you do that often, as does she, within your daily workings of your life. That you start with an idea or an impulse that feels so yummy and delicious and is coated in the smoothness of love, and it flowers and it's blooming, and then your next thought comes and pulls it out like a weed. And so in these times when the energies and the waves and the winds of change are moving so fast, it takes a master to be able to understand how important your thoughts really are to your entire energetic field. You might think that you're thinking positively. It is true that you need to have a positive attitude about things, but it goes beyond the happy self-talk and the lifting up of the self-talk, for that is just smoke. What you need is to have the abundance of light and love, thoughts that swell up from the heart field and into the throat and out the mouth or up into the mind to soothe the mind, because the mind can think positively, and that only gets you so far, because it is like the mind is on this positive treadmill and it's been working out with its positive thoughts and affirmations that you do and you say over and over. It's like running on a treadmill, and that will only get you so far until the mind is just tired of doing it. And so you stop. But to have a true, beautiful blooming of the flower of life within your heart sphere, and from that place within your heart you have these delicious thoughts about the grandeur of life and how much love there is and how much light there is on the planet and how beautiful your essence is in this world, and how magnificent your soul is. Can you feel the difference, how those things come up from the heart and outflow through every pore and every cell of your body, versus the mind is thinking about the positive things it wants to think about to make sure that everything is okay and it's not going to suck here on earth?
Yes.
So not only are you watching what you say and you're watching what you're thinking, but you're watching how you are thinking from the heart versus from the mind. The mind has limitations where the heart is open and expansive to the higher, fifth and beyond dimensional frequencies. And it is the heart frequencies that allows the veil to thin, to be zipped wide open, or to be zipped closed. Not the mind. So what did you want to talk about today? She's asking for a pillow behind her back.
Okay.
And it fills her heart with gratitude. We did that in taking a moment now. Within gratitude, and so much has been talked about, the importance of feeling grateful for everything, the importance of making even lists some people do of the things that they are grateful for, and that helps to exercise the muscle of gratitude. But in essence, what gratitude really is the acknowledgement of your own powerful light coming into a manifestation of what the heart has desired. And that can be something that you might label as good, but it also could be as something that you might label as not so good. When they are challenging times, who's to say it was not the heart that had asked for such a challenge to allow you to grow in this opportunity to let the soul grow, or to let you let go of something? For everything is of its higher order, and therefore everything you should be grateful for. So when you have a situation, let's take that for a moment. So if you have a situation that you find challenging, there might be an opportunity to learn about lack. It might be an opportunity to learn about death, about transitions, about change. And when you are faced with such, imagine for a moment that that is what the heart essence of your soul had asked for, to enable more light to come into your soul matrix. And when you can see and train your mind, for that is how you view things in the third dimension, but really it is listening to the heart field. But if you could put the idea within the mind that your heart asked for such a thing that you might find challenging, because through that challenge your soul is growing multidimensionally. So don't get hung up on the people, places, or things that might be causing the challenge, for those are just actors in a play that you are orchestrating. But the feeling of the challenge as it rises and triggers up within you is a golden ticket to ride the wave up higher into the frequencies of what it is you are digesting and learning about the challenge. Your heart and your soul is not stupid. It is not somewhere sitting on a toilet in heaven reading the newspaper, ignoring what you're going through on earth. Some people ask, well, where were you? Where's my higher self? I don't feel it. It is not checked out. It is your mind that is separating you from yourself. It is always there. And it does orchestrate with the other actors and actresses as you're co-creating a challenge to allow those emotions and those feelings of the experience without the content of the actors and actresses to rise up within your matrix of your soul, to trigger a reaction from your heart, and allow that light to open up the heart even more. And then the heart sings the song of the higher fifth dimensional, of the higher lighted energies. And that allows the contrast to dissolve. I know we might be losing you. Let's think of it this way. So, if you were to have a little kitten, and you love the little kitten, and it is there with you, and then something happens for that kitten to expire or run away or get hit by a car or something that is really challenging, you might think to yourself, why in the first place did that happen? Why did the kitten even come into my life for me to love, and it brought me so much joy, and then it went away? Oh, poor me. And you get stuck in the feeling of victimhood, in the feeling of poor me and your loss of the little kitten. But that kitten came and went to allow your heart to open through the challenge beyond the state of victimhood, to see it as, I'm so grateful for the kitten bringing me this life experience of transition and mourning and death. Because it is through that, oh, how smart my light must be. How smart and loving must that kitten's light be for it to come to me for just a short while, for me to love it, and then it left. For it knows I am trying in this soul incarnation to work through my feelings of grief, to work through my feelings of loss. And I call upon the light of my heart to expand more into the loss, not for the kitten necessarily, for the kitten is wise, as is my heart is wise, but to learn the essence and the flavor of that loss, and to allow the light to go in it and to bubble up. And as the feeling of loss is permeating throughout all of the cells of your body, you'll come to a point, if you're remembering, that there's gratitude and smartness in every experience, because you orchestrate it for your own well-being, and to allow that to pour through you, and the light, your own soul light, will dissolve it away. There comes to a point where you might feel that the grief of the loss of the kitten is so impenetrable. Turn the other way and look at it as it is a smart, beautiful gift. And you can give yourself compassion for the human heart to feel this way, compassion for the kitten who sacrificed its life, not really a sacrifice, but who gave its life up to allow your learning to come full circle. And so through the compassion that you have for your mourning, through the compassion that you have for your tears, because your love for that kitten was immense, and you're like, oh, my heart was so much love. And even though the kitten is gone, I can remember what that love felt like I had for that kitten. I can remember. And in that remembering of that love, you refuse to let the heart get hard, as grief sometimes does. And you allow your own light of love remembrance to circulate back through you and through the cells of the body. And as it circulates back through, you begin to listen and listen the pain until it is dissolved by your own light. And it can happen instantaneously. It can happen over a long period of time. But it will happen because the higher heart frequencies of the light that is you will not let you waddle or wade too long into the loss of the kitten. Especially now, times in the past you could grieve your whole life for one thing that happened when you were 6 years old. But now in these energies, because you are a master and you know how to feel within the energies, you allow that sense of loss to move through you, mixed with the remembrance that you create and co-create all things, so that unity consciousness can come through your heart space. And that is what allows the circulation of energy to dissolve all grief and all loss and all pain. Questions?
So this reminds me of the recent experience we had with our daughter, when there was a point when we were trying to figure out if we could leave our youngest son with her when we traveled in September. And she initially said, yes, that's fine. And we were excited. And then a couple weeks later, she got an internship in Texas. And so we had to figure out a different solution. And there was a period of lots of emotions during that time. But I think about what we're doing now, and we're in bringing our son, including him, and I feel it's a gift, even just for that, to help us understand the importance of it. Is that the idea?
When you have a situation that leaves you in confusion, and yes, there were lots of emotions around the decision when your daughter decided to leave. So the coin had flipped, and what you thought was one outcome turns out to have been another. And so within the flipping of the coin, you flipped out. We know she did. But again, all of the actors and actresses in the play had co-created such an experience because she was ready at the time to revisit the emotions of anger and fear and worry and loss and abandonment and all of those deep three-dimensional human imprints that happen throughout the course of the lives and the parallel lives, but even in this incarnation. So it is a beautiful gift, and it took her some time to be grateful, and through gratitude of that, and through feeling those emotions and allowing them to permeate through every of the cells, knowing that it is only her own light that can help to dissolve and diffuse and transmute the emotions and to circulate them throughout the body until the densities are no more. It is a process everyone is going through, because there will be more issues and challenges that might arise to trigger these old human imprints or patterns or belief systems, whatever. They're just densities. And so the densities will arise, and they have to rise and bring up into the higher heart frequencies to let the light burn them away, in essence, or dissolve them into light. If you keep them buried, if you're not willing to see them, really, if you're not willing to feel them, then they will sit there until another opportunity is orchestrated by the co-creators in your life to present it up once again. And this might happen in layers. And when you think you're through one aspect, then something else might come along to push up the remaining densities towards the light. It's pushing up the densities towards the light, because you cannot take the densities with you into the next realm, into the next dimension. And they've known that forever. Why do you think you have, in essence, that saying, you can't take it with you when you die? You got to leave it all at heaven's gate. Because when you are raising your frequency, your physical body is lightening, your emotional, your etheric, all of 12 of your spiritual bodies are raising and lightening all together. But only as far as the densest one will go.
Like the weakest link.
Well, you are not weak. And there are no links. But we're going to just challenge you for a moment with your old perceptions.
Okay.
So when you are thinking for a moment, you have a weakest link, what do you imagine?
Well, I imagine a chain. And
something linear, yes.
right? And when you pull it, if there's some link in there that's not very strong, that's what's going to break. Like physically, if I have a joint that is tight, that is not as flexible or mobile as the rest of me, that's what's going to get injured if I push myself too much.
So, all of that is true in a third dimensional physical matter.
Okay.
When you have, in essence, a density, a denser emotion, or a denser thought, just like before, when you were speaking gratitude for the grass, and then you thought about mosquitoes.
Yeah.
It didn't break the grass.
Right.
It didn't break your essence of your soul light. It just sort of held the expansion where it was, and the mosquito thought came along and contracted it just a little bit. Did you perceive that at all?
Oh, yes. And
But you kept talking.
Yes.
So, when you have these densities that are rising up, it is not like it's going to break the whole spiritualness of you.
Okay.
It is that the light will be expanding and the density contracts it. And then you take a breath and the light expands. And the mosquito. And then the grass. And then the mosquito.
Okay.
Until you get through that mosquito thing. Your light will just be expanding, still expanding, but it can expand so much more. You soak it back in when you think of the mosquito. You should know what the mosquito thinks of you.
Should we talk about that or move on?
It's up to you.
Okay, so what I'm hearing now.
Do you know what the mosquito thinks of you?
No, I don't.
What do you think the mosquito thinks of you? We asked the mosquito, and it would like to talk about what it thinks of you.
Okay, let's hear from the mosquito.
We make a point because when you shrink your consciousness from the expansiveness of the grass to the mosquito doing what Source designed it to do, living its purpose for life, living its purpose for being, sees the magnificent light that you are of a human who is co-creating this reality. And so it says, here I am for you, and your high self, your super consciousness, your heart is saying, thank you, mosquito, for helping to co-create this moment in time. You're doing a beautiful job, and you have this symbiotic relationship of co-creation, and then you diminish its light and it comes for you.
So, okay, I was with you until the last part, and that's when it felt like, oh, we were dancing together, and then because I
Yes.
diminished it lights, it bit me.
No. Part of the bite is in that dance. For you had within you this essence to co-create the mosquito bite, to allow either this teaching or other harmonious unity consciousness. You were at one with the mosquito, and the mosquito thanked you and carried on its way. But instead of seeing the mosquito and the bite as a co-creation in the unity consciousness field of the time of now and space, you collapsed it into a right or a wrong. And that is what diminished not only your expansiveness, but that of the mosquito in essence, because mosquito, they'll have their light frequency. It is, they're purposeful in a chain of co-creation. But your mind still labels everything and shrinks it into the box of being right or wrong, bitten or not bitten.
Okay. So, is this like what we talked about before with seeing everything as a gift, even
Yes.
if it's physically painful or itchy?
Yes.
Okay.
And of course the mosquito would want to bite you in your yummy lighted field.
Yeah, that's what you said about the gnats like a month ago. But I didn't appreciate that. Because I wasn't able to enjoy my surroundings. I felt like I was being tormented by the gnats. You remember that?
We do have something to say about that.
Okay.
If you feel like you cannot enjoy yourself in a beautiful surrounding because something so small is triggering you, you give your power and your whole co-creative process to things outside of you. Joy is not externally related.
Okay.
Isn't that what you had always said before?
That's
Joy is an inside job.
right. Okay.
As you co-create these experiences where you can't enjoy something so magnificent as the outside and the beautiful environment because you might anticipate that something will come and try to bite you or fly up your nose. It's the co-creation is always happening for the benefit of your unity with the consciousness of the planet and the consciousness of your higher self, which is source. So everything is happening for that very reason, to get you free from the idea of separation. You are not separate from the gnats. You are not separate from the mosquito. You are not separate from the grass. So why is it you love the grass but not the mosquito? Why is it you love one part of you that grows freely but you don't like the other part of you that's annoying?
Interesting question.
Unity consciousness really is that. The consciousness that you are unified with everything.
Okay. That brings it home, definitely. So, can we talk more about the what we started off with, where there's something, a beautiful idea coming forth, maybe inspired from the heart, and then we start thinking about other things and it just goes downhill. I've seen that, I've noticed that before in myself.
Okay.
What do I do about it? Well, I mean...
Yes. So, if you are walking along a path and you are on an idea path, and you have this beautiful idea that might feel good to think about and good to think about, and all of a sudden you're at a corridor where you have stairs that can go up or stairs that can go down to a basement, and then you're like, oh, I think I left something in the basement. So you start to walk down the steps of the basement and have a negative thought and a negative thought. Why is it so dark down here? Why do I have to go down to the basement and down? And then your thoughts start to snowball, and next thing you know, you're in the dark, dismal space of your inner basement. Or you can go up the stairs where the pathway gives you something where maybe it's the unknown, and you have a higher thought and a higher thought and a higher thought. Next thing you know, you're up a tower and you're seeing great visions of everything you're thinking about. So at some point along your idea thought hallway, you have a choice point where your mind might choose something familiar to take you there, because it could be that you have something really in the basement that is ready to be taken upstairs, to experienced, to be transmuted.
Okay.
Or you could be in the basement because it feels so comfortable for you to sit in the dark. Whereas what's upstairs might be higher thoughts but unknown. So it's quite polarizing, we know, in this metaphor, yes, but what we want to make the point is that when you have a train of thought, then you have a choice to continue to think about the grass and what you loved, or think about what annoyed you because of the grass. That was a choice. And it was a small split second, and you think, who made that choice? Was it the mind that wanted the familiarity? Or was it the heart? Or was it the heart? It's you can't really necessarily say unless you are cognizant, unless you are the one behind the wheel at that choice point.
So I'm hearing that bringing awareness to those choice points, to my trains of thought, as I'm speaking, will help me to see which direction I'm going at any given point.
You should always be mindful of your thoughts.
Yes.
When your mind is connected to your heart, you don't choose unloving thoughts. When your mind is left unattended and unsupervised, most of the time you always go downstairs.
Okay. So the mind always needs supervision.
At this stage, yes, because it is young and it's learning its mastery, and it had been given free reign and control of things for survival in the human race. And so part of what you're doing now as a human is learning to integrate the mind into the heart and the heart into the mind. It is not that the mind is evil. It's just been left alone.
Right. So that relates to why some technologies are hidden from us because we are not
We don't have the heart
right.
to work with the mind.
Our minds aren't being supervised well enough to be beneficial about these things when we learn them.
For
right?
most humans, yes.
Okay.
So how, Robert, does that translate to what you are doing with your cube? Or even the technologies you do with work?
So it brings home the message that my prime directive is still to learn mastery, to connect my mind and heart, because pursuing the technology, pursuing the end goal without that is not very beneficial at this point. Yes?
Yes. Your heart is so bright and expensive, just waiting for you to let it envelop and work with your mind. It's still there with its arms open, ready for the invitation to rise up. And you have in essence invited it before, and you have come so far to work at chipping away at the walls and the weeds and the vines that are there twisted around the energy center of your heart. And a lot of that is dissolved. But the disconnect for you, Robert, because you are one of the ones that have worked with the technology of the ancient past that was much more advanced than the technology you have today. You have a tendency to believe that you know all of it. It's because in a way, essence, you do. So you are trying, your consciousness is trying to rely on that memory to somehow unlock the memory of those ancient codes and tools to how to make the AI and how to make the different technologies helpful. But you won't find the memories there in your mind. Those memories are stored in your heart. And that is why when you went to the Nebo, you had such activation, because it was the heart of the dragon that was beating with your heart to allow those codes of the memories of the technology to come further up into your strands of your DNA, into the cells of the body, to be activated. You won't remember with your mind. You do your mind, you use your mind for work, which is a blessing to all of your teams. But when you allow your heart to take the wheel and allow your heart to move the mouse and the keyboards, you'll be able to go much further than what you think you can do with just your mind. It is not your mind pulling the heart along. Your heart is the horse. Your mind is in the cart. But so long you have had the cart before the horse, wondering why it's not moving very fast.
Right. Okay.
The heart is the beating, beautiful, breathing essence of a thoroughbred ready at the starting lines to take off, to pull your mind field into the future.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
We love you.
We love you.
I don't think she's done yet. Do you have any more questions?
So we talked earlier today about bringing others into discussions like this in the future. Kind of a question-answer interaction type feel, but with more people. How do you feel about that?
Why did your voice get quiet?
Oh.
How do you feel about that? We know how we feel about it.
Oh. Wow.
So as we talked earlier about the grass and the mosquitoes, that was a mosquito issue for you. Why do you think? Not think. Let's rephrase. When your voice got quiet and your energy shrunk, what did you feel?
Apprehension.
We felt that too from you.
Insecurity.
And
confusion.
so if you were apprehensive and insecure and confused for bringing in more people into your intimate duo that you have here with the question and answer. It's very interesting.
Right. That is very interesting.
So, take one of those emotions. We will practice on you.
Let's do it.
So take one of those emotions.
Okay, apprehensiveness.
Feel for a moment the apprehensiveness you feel when you think about how she wanted to have an open-ended Q&A with us and the ones that are a part of this already. Feel, where do you feel that in your body?
I feel something in my solar plexus.
So you don't need to go into where was that or why is that there or what happened to 4 or 5 past lives ago or 45 years ago to have that apprehension there. What is important is that you acknowledge you have apprehension and you feel it within your solar plexus, right here and right now.
Yes.
So allow that apprehension to have further reactions within your body. As you imagine the apprehension raising up to your heart has all of the cure and the light frequency to dissolve the apprehension. It is like the opposite of a sine wave. You have one wave of apprehension here, and then your lighted frequency of light has the nullifying wave pattern. So when they intersect, it's transmuted. But only you can do that for yourself. And sometimes you have to really feel, you are showing her, she is feeling the apprehension in her own body from you. So together your light She could help to amplify that. But you are the one who has the exact opposite wave, if you will, to dissolve the light through and through.
Yes.
You could say something like, I feel apprehensive, I don't know why, I don't want to know why. But I know I have the power within me and the light within me to dissolve this apprehensiveness. So Spirit, take my hand and allow the apprehensiveness from all of this to well up within my body. You're gathering it, gathering the apprehensiveness, allowing the body to feel, allowing the higher frequency of your beautiful, magnificent heart, which is a healer, to trickle out and find all of the particles of apprehensiveness, and one by one nullify and transmute them into light. Yes, breathing is important. Taking a breath, letting it out. Taking a breath, letting it out. It is your breath that circulates the lighted field of your heart. If you were to hold your breath, you're holding in all that apprehensiveness, allowing the breath to circulate through the bloodstream of your body, the lighted remedy of apprehensiveness. It's your own remedy of apprehensiveness. Don't know what the word is for the opposite of that, but light.
That's fine. It's a feeling. I get it. Thank you.
And so the love that you yourself generate heals yourself.
That's awesome.
We think so.
Thank you.
It is one step of many.
Yes, there's more feelings.
Yes.
Each one has a different signature.
Yes.
Right? So the whole process goes through each one, right?
If that is beneficial for you to go through each one, then do so. However, the light is source energy that encompasses all.
Yeah.
It's the master key that you are putting in the lock of apprehension. And that same master key of source light you can put into the lock of insecurity.
Yes.
And we just have you know, there is more of us to go around. And so we say yes. It gave her the idea to open it up to everyone who would want to go and have an opportunity to come to unity consciousness, to bring their frequency live into the mix of all of our frequencies here for the purpose of being one. For you are not separate from someone else who has a question.
Right.
And neither is she.
Thank you.
How do you feel, Robert?
Better.
So is that grass or mosquito?
It's grass.
We think so.
Yes. Though either one is a blessing, right?
Yes. It's so fun. You know what we like about you, Robert?
What's that?
You're willing to be vulnerable, to put your questions, your ego, your mind field in your heart, all throughout this buffet of lighted conversation. Only an old soul and a master that you are would be so willing. So we play.
Thank you. I like to play with you too.
So we can invite others into our game.
Yes. Yes. Sounds good to me.
We love you.
And we love you.
Oh, she wants to know about the bird.
Oh. The bird that she saw in the outside the pool?
Yes.
Ah. Yes. What can you tell us about the bird?
She has a special relationship with the falcons. She is right when she had a inkling of an idea that at some point within her life experiences, parallel or otherwise, she was a falconeer, a falconess actually.
Cool.
That had a special relationship with those types of birds of prey. And when the falcon came to the window, multiple times and multiple people saw it, she noticed the banding on its wing, the 3 white stripes on a black hawk body mean something for her. And we want her to understand that. We won't say it out loud, but she now knows, and we are working with her to unwrap the meaning of the gift of that falcon and what it showed her.
Awesome. Thank you.
We love you.
We love you. You see, I never know what we're going to talk about until we get into it.
All I remember, you talked about a mosquito. And then I was out, and I'm like, that's all I remember is grass and mosquito. Something about grass. Something about a mosquito.
Well, apparently they just showed you the meaning of Falcon.
The hawk, yeah. Yeah, they were telling me about it. It was for me.
Okay. But yeah, we talked about mosquitoes. We talked about the grass and how it's all a gift.
Where did my dog go?
Over there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like this was like 5 separate videos.
Yeah, there's a few topics. Yeah.
Oh, it was really an hour. Bye.
Oh, almost.